Good afternoon, everybody. I should say good evening,
Good evening,
everyone,
yes.
because we are past the afternoon hour. Nick Navros, Papa T, Paul Tupaco, and as always, my dear friend, the godfather of Sailor Nation Sports, Joe Kanukin. Gentlemen, welcome to the 32nd annual Stan Konrad Invitational Hockey Tournament here in Muskegon, hosted by the Sailors of Mona Shores.
Actually, this is the first year as a showcase instead of a tournament format.
Oh, really?
Yes. Normally we have 4 teams here. This year we started out with 8 teams here. So it's more of a showcase. We set up and try to showcase some of the talent of the East versus
wonderful.
West type thing. So, yeah, it's been a good weekend so far. It's been busy.
Yeah, well, in fact, you saw a celebrity down there. Mr. Mark Yule may be here watching his son.
He was definitely here last night because I got to meet him. So, yes, he quite possibly could be here again today. His son plays Grant U, plays number 4 for City Capital.
So, Paul, what number game is this right here?
This is our 13th game, I believe. Yeah.
This is game 13 of the weekend or of?
Oh, of the weekend? This is game 8 of the weekend.
Game 8 of the weekend.
And 2 for the Sailors, correct?
And,
it's our second game today.
Yeah,
correct.
your second game. And how did you do game 1?
We beat Midland this morning 7-2.
Congratulations. And to improve your record to what right now? Are we
11-1-0.
11-1-0. That's not too bad.
Right.
No. The only defeat came to East Grand Rapids.
East Grand Rapids last Saturday.
And you paid them back a few days ago.
Correct.
Well,
correct. We found our game.
Yeah.
We found our game and pretty much controlled that whole game. So.
Well, that's going to be great. I think we're ready for the national anthem.
It looks like we're getting ready to do the national anthem, so we'll go ahead and be quiet while that goes. All right, we're ready for some hockey.
Yes, we
now,
are.
Paul, this is the last game of the evening. Is that correct?
This is the last game of the weekend.
Yep. Okay. So this is it for hockey for the weekend here at Lakeshore Ice Arena.
And it's our last home game of the season.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Already?
Yep.
My God, so it's the Stan Konrad 2021 Hockey Showcase. I like the name. Are you going to change it to a showcase from now on?
The intention is to have 8 teams here every year, yeah.
Oh, that's going to be exciting.
Keep moving forward. We have decided instead of, like last night, we split both sheets, so we're going to try to run it all on a single sheet both nights because it's much easier to manage from that standpoint. So.
You need a lot more staff and stuff to go between both of those.
It's logistically, it's just a little bit more difficult. So hopefully we'll just start earlier on Friday and run it that way.
What do we know about the Caps here, Paul?
Not a lot. We watched them play a little bit last night. They played Midland, who we played this morning, and that was a fairly close game. So I look for a tight game here. They move the puck fairly well, so we should see what they got going.
And we're off.
Yeah. So, Paul, when do you start reaching out for teams, and after we watch a game, to come back in here and play for us?
For this?
Yeah. For the showcase.
As soon as the
season gets done.
As soon as the state playoffs are done, then the coaches are trying to schedule and get next year's schedule completed.
Okay.
So mostly it's all coaches doing the scheduling.
Oh, really? Yeah. So Todd Konrad doesn't have to worry too much about his.
No, we basically, Chris will do the scheduling, and then he'll turn that into Todd, and then the school will do the contracts from there.
I gotcha. Oh, that helps him out a lot.
Yeah.
No, that's a nice thing.
It's not one of his venues. We contract the venue, so.
Sure, I gotcha. Right, exactly.
We work with the rinks and get the ice between us and Grand Haven here, basically. So this isn't really how we want to start out. We're pretty much bottled up in our own end here.
Yes, you are. Yeah, we are.
We need to move that puck up. Oh, there's a trip.
So
no call.
You and I were talking a little bit earlier, Paul. They played at 11 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, we got to get our legs going for sure.
How much fatigue do you think is going to play into this second game tonight?
It's really hard to say. Most of these kids grew up playing 2 games a day. It shouldn't be a big deal for them, but now we're going to get a penalty called on us.
That's not a good start to this game.
No, it's not.
Paul, what do the kids do between the 11 o'clock game that finishes and now? Do you keep the team together, or are they free?
No, we send them home. We tell them to get some rest and get some fluids.
Fluids,
hydrate, right.
Get off their feet, just relax.
Yep.
Okay.
And get some protein, get some fluids in you, get ready to play another game.
Yep.
So.
Okay. Yeah.
Most of these kids have done it most of their life playing travel hockey, so they know the routine.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Now, you said this is the last home game. How many more away games do you have,
We
Paul?
have 3 next week, and then the playoffs will start.
Wow. Fast season. Joe?
It is, and it's been very, very compressed because of the COVID protocols that shortened the beginning of it.
Well, we would in a normal season be in the playoffs right now.
Wow, that's just crazy.
But your season would have started earlier, too.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I mean, if we started in November when we were supposed to, we would be in the playoffs right now at this point in time. TJ with a nice save there.
Yeah, and it's just like all the other winners where, boys basketball would be talking about, March Madness right now, which is just around the corner.
Well, we have seen some it was interesting because I think you guys jumped right on it with the a little bit of the loosening, the unexpected loosening of some of the restrictions from the governor as we continue to go. So you were able to get a few more people in here, correct?
We were able to increase to 3. We increased to 3 over the weekend. We anticipated this game to be Reese Puffer, which would have been a big crowd. So we figured if 3 from both teams, we would be pretty much at capacity limits for where we're supposed to be here.
Right.
Sure.
Other than that, really, we haven't had much issues with capacity or being over number, as you can see. When the teams come from across the state, typically it's just mom and dad anyway, maybe a sibling or 2. So
maybe
being at 3 just helped out the sibling issue and those types of things this weekend.
So with all the action down there at the south end right here, this is real exciting here, right? To be honest with you, brother.
Well, we're killing a penalty, and that hurts us when we're spending time killing a penalty.
Yeah.
Be nice for a little shorthanded goal.
We're down about 57 seconds.
Don't ever rule it out with these guys, especially this group right here. If they can chip it out, somebody's going to be gone.
Well, they're doing a good job, Dad. We're down to 45 seconds left in the
on the
penalty.
On the power play. It might take us a little bit to get our legs going.
Oh, sure.
So, number 11, Benedict, he kind of exploded this morning with 5 goals.
5 goals, yes.
Right.
Wow.
Trent had a big game this morning. Actually 4 natural right in a row. Boom, boom, boom.
Really?
Wow.
Well, not that quick, but
no, right, but
they were,
goal,
they were all
right.
him, and then little Matty St. Martin got his first goal, and then Trent got another, and Matty got his second. So
wow, that
it was
was
a big
exciting.
morning
He had
for
some
them.
different people to score.
Yeah, it was. It was a pretty well coached games on both sides.
Let's go back to the East Grand Rapids game a minute while we're watching here. Boy, that was a nice payback for having been defeated. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Right. Well, we just
you played better.
Well, you lost 2 months before. It gives you a little bit of refocus,
sure.
And go back to your game and play your game. And we dominated in their end most of the game. So yeah, it was a good refocus, come back and win. You got to see how the boys are going to react after the loss.
Exactly.
You're running wins and you get that first loss. Now you got to figure out how to refocus after that, right?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like our girls basketball team. They ran off 7-0, and then they lose Wyoming. But not only that, but it was a conference loss too.
Penalty killing is over now.
Yeah,
0-0
back
here.
at 5-on-5.
Are we healthy, Paul?
Pretty much. We got one player out today, but we're in pretty good shape.
Good.
So.
After this game, what is your next? What's the schedule look like?
We have Rockford on Wednesday, and I believe Lowell Caledonia on Friday, and Forest Hills Northern Eastern again on Saturday.
So you have the ability to actually enjoy a little day off tomorrow. I'm guessing these guys will probably not do much.
And then I'll be in another rink for other youth
games
tomorrow. So
I
get a day off from running this thing.
They get a day off.
Yes,
the team gets a day off.
They're going to get a day off. They'll skate again on Monday, but.
Now, Paul, your responsibility, obviously, as being a GM, are many. But are they, I don't know how to say this the right way, I'm just going to say, less or more for away games?
Less.
A
lot less.
A lot less. Okay.
A lot less, yes.
That's what I thought.
So
okay.
I will be with the team, and I'll take care of, the score sheets and all that stuff and whatever. If we blow a skate or something, we have to get the skate sharpener going, I'll be there to do that. Yeah, a lot less on away games than home games then. But I have a parent group here that, is second to none anywhere. I mean, we ran this whole weekend, with basically my parents and a few volunteers. It's been great.
I ran into a couple of them on the way in, and they're all still very pleasant. And
they're the only one now is me. No, no. The parent groups that we have here at Shores are awesome. Have been for many years, and it just seems like every year you think, oh, I'm losing this person, and then somebody drops in and fills a role, right?
Yep.
And that's what we do. We reload every year. We lose them. We're going to lose some this year that I think, oh boy, this is going to be tough. But now I'm seeing we got
dump in right here.
We got parents coming to step up. So.
No, that's great. Do you guys do like a pregame meal with the kids or anything? Give us a regular game routine. Say a weekday game routine here.
No, we don't do a pregame meal.
Okay.
A lot of times we're coming, if the game's early, we're coming right from school, and, we'll try to get something for them before the game. But
sure,
they may have had like a pregame meal the night before. We do that a few times. This year it's been less, obviously. So, but a lot of times we'll do a pregame meal like the night before. We'll have pastas and carbs and get all that stuff in their system. So. But you don't want to be too heavy before a game.
No, exactly. Right. No, that's interesting. We're still at 0-0. We're down to, what is it, 1?
No, 11.
Oh, is that 11? I can't see the other one. Boy, the angle stuff.
Yeah, you don't have a good angle to the scorecard.
No. Got Kimmin over there, the best in the business. He's in the bird's nest over there, the crow's nest.
In the new crow's nest they put in. That's pretty nice for filming.
Oh, it's great for filming.
We were talking earlier about Kimmon's shot and some of the angle, I guess, if you will, that he has to cut from down underneath where that penalty box is, right in front of the penalty box.
He loses that.
So we were talking about some different ways. I think he's got a really good the camera's leaned forward now, so he can look down a little bit sharper. So I think we get a little bit better shot down in there. So.
I think we should just strap some bungee cord around his ankles and just have him drop down.
We could do that,
with a little camera.
Absolutely.
I think Kimmin could handle that.
We're going to get a power play here. I see him trip over here on the near boards.
So finally we started to balance this game out a little bit. We spent a little bit more time down here in the offensive zone versus.
We're going to start to get our legs. We'll get rolling here. I mean, this morning's game we dominated most of the time.
Did you?
Yeah, we dominated the zone play most of the game. If anybody watched the live stream.
I'd like to thank everybody that's joining us here today from the John Vandervelde Nexus Realty broadcast booth here at the Lakeshore Ice Arena, Stan Konrad Showcase. Here are the Capital City Caps against your Mona Shore Sailors. Still 0-0 in first period.
Sailors on the block.
Ooh, good
there's
shot.
a nice shot. Nice
Trying
block.
to jam it in.
Good
Trying to jam it in.
Oh.
Still loose. Still loose.
Yeah, still loose is right.
Landon Taylor working hard down there below.
Yeah.
And they're going to
Hey,
get the
Paul,
ice here.
we had a face-off that was right down here. Do you guys? Is there a face-off drill that you guys work on?
Oh, there's a
Absolutely.
lot of different plays that we run. Yep.
Is there? Okay.
1 passes, 0 passes,
Yeah,
1
there's
timers.
a lot of multiple different plays depending on the strengths of the team or what we see.
Look at you, Mr.
Don't you
Hockey.
remember the 1-timer that I called at
Yeah.
against Reef Puffer?
Yeah, but I just, when you start blurting just 1-timer, 2-timer.
Well, it's
Yeah.
just whether or not you're shooting right off of it or you're going to pass across and get an open
Depends
shot.
what hand shot the
Right.
forward is that's taking the face off or who gets thrown out.
I'm just surrounded by knowledge right here with the both of you. Let me tell
Well,
you that. But
You know, if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, you baffle them with
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. And that's
some
pretty
BS.
much where I'll be
So,
doing that right
that's
now.
me. That's me.
All right, so the Sailors are setting up here. The power play continues. We're down to 50 seconds remaining in this power play. North end of the rink here.
Looking to maintain control.
Trying to
Taking
keep
that
us
corner.
wide and it's going to throw it down.
Go down there.
Change up the power play here.
Stan Konrad Hockey Showcase 2021 coming to you from the Lakeshore Sports Center. Down to 18 seconds remaining in the power play with the Sailors. For the Sailors, I should say. But
Sailors looking to keep it in.
Yeah.
Doing a good job, but they are keeping them wide. They're not giving them a lot
Yeah.
of open
They're
ice
not letting us get in
passing.
front. They don't want to let us
Nope.
get in front.
There's your shot right there.
Yeah, he couldn't get it to settle.
Yep.
Shot. Oh.
And
And we're at full strength.
Right.
You know what would really be cool? If we could go down there like a minute or two, find Yule, bring him up here, and a little chat with Mark Yule. That'd be really good. Hunt the boy down. I think that'd be fun to.
Have Mark Ewell on here to do
Yeah,
an interview?
absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll try to find him. If Paul will look just before the end, and if he spots him, I'll go down and talk to him.
Yeah, I know he was here last night, and I thought I seen him come in, but I'm at the opposite end of the rink right now. So.
Yeah, right.
Exclusive interview.
Yeah,
He'd probably be open to it, I would guess.
I don't think so. I'll leave with a couple minutes to go. You guys can do it. And,
Sailors looking to push it back into the offensive zone here, getting a little bit of
And
movement.
St. Martin
There we
with his
go.
First goal, and he's
oh,
gonna-
right in front
We're
there.
banging.
That
There
their
it
little
is.
shot.
No,
Oh, my
man.
God,
couldn't
that
get it
goalie
to
just.
go.
Wow, that
Maddie
goalie
was
was
banging
sprawled
away.
all over the place right there.
Yep, he was down a loose puck. We just couldn't get it over the top.
Yeah.
Of him.
A lot of work down
Of
there.
his arm.
A lot of work. But I tell you what, like you said, Paul, we're starting to see a little bit more push down here in the offensive zone.
Yeah, I think we're starting to get our legs a little bit. We're starting to move the puck better.
Yeah.
Coach maybe a little bit of a fire under him, get him going over there on the bench. It's been known to happen.
He can get a little fiery at times.
What
Yeah.
coach? What coach can't?
Well, good
Yeah.
coach
I mean, what-
can, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, that's part of
It's all part of the game.
Yeah,
No matter what you're coaching, you gotta know your crowd, right?
exactly.
Ooh, that was almost an offsides right there.
So we're playing the capital city camps because Reef Puffer was forced into COVID protocol.
Let's take a look back in the
Yeah.
trying to jam that that goal in there on our Lake Michigan Insurance instant replay. Boy, there's just a lot of caps there to help clear that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're collapsing into their zone pretty well.
Hey, Paul, I was looking through the program right here. Sean Zimmerman is at Grand Rapids Christian. Was that the former coach at Shores?
Correct.
Wow, yeah, Joe.
We're good.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah,
you.
Well,
yeah,
look at his
me
staff,
bring that.
because Dan Quain is on his staff, and Dan was the coach before Chris Benedict here.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. All righty.
Here we are at 6:17 left in the first period, still 0-0. Your
0-0.
Sailors. working to move that down here into.
It's really been a tale of one period, but two different tales in this period. You know, the first.
We spent a lot of time down in our own zone.
Exactly.
Nice save there.
Yeah,
stick
TJ
save.
being a nice save off.
And
the
that's where it's difficult. So obviously that face-off that's down in your zone.
Yeah.
You get that one-timer or just one good clear pass.
Right.
That goalie's really got to be sharp and right on it to take that out.
Hey, we've got some good news you were sharing with me with
nice.
Athletic Director Konrad. We had a gentleman at our last hockey game, my friend. Why don't you talk about that? Some great news for us.
Mr. Chuck Langland stopped in and dropped off a check for Sailor Nation Sports Network. And, man, I tell you what, a very sizable check.
Very sizable check.
Appreciate it very much, Chuck. If you're watching, thank you very much. I know that it's Taylor, I believe, is his grandson. Nico Taylor?
Yeah.
So, once again, everybody that has supported us through the Sailors Lead the Way campaign, as well as Lake Michigan Insurance, John Vandervelde and Nexus Realty. We've got Trophy House, their official apparel sponsors. Make sure that you get into the new store. I haven't had a chance to get in there yet.
I was in there yesterday, as a matter of fact, picking up T-shirts.
It's funny. I talk and email with Chad Lee more than I actually get in there. I mean, it's just all the business happens mostly on the phone and emails, but I got to actually get in the store. And then, of course, our banner designer, Mr. Brad Peters.
Mr. Brad Peters.
Oh, yeah, Brad. I was in there yesterday, too, as well. So
yeah, well, Brad just got back from Las Vegas.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. I wonder if he hit it big because I'm going in to see him.
No, he didn't win it big.
Oh, he didn't win it big. I'm stopping in to see him this week, in fact.
He did the puck that Joe's got in front of him right there.
Remember, I was
you thought that was done.
Well, I've seen some there when he was making our banner. In fact, we're going to be reaching out to him.
That's going to be a bad break right there.
One right here. Dieselberg going to try to take away the pass, and he did.
Oh,
a nice
job right there by Dieselberg.
He did a nice job back checking to break that play up.
Yeah, that was just a bad bounce back down here. And
it was the other defenseman
zone.
there, he lost an edge, and
you
can still see the glove. Well, that's not one of our players' gloves. I don't know. Must be a cat player glove because it's not blue.
Our gloves are all blue?
Our gloves are all blue. All the same.
I got you. You look good, you play good. You play good, good things happen.
You pretty much will blow through a pair of gloves in one season.
What does the school provide for the uniform for the kids? Just the uniform?
No.
Okay. What does the school provide?
They provide us a stipend for what we can use towards ice or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So most of our unis, most of the stuff that you see comes from our golf outing in the summer.
I gotcha.
So we fundraise, and the golf outing is used for things that carry over from year to year.
Shot on goal. Okay.
Yeah.
Is fundraising for the hockey program a year-round event? Or
pretty much. We'll do the golf outing once the season's
press
over.
by the Caps.
Nice save.
Nice save by TJ.
Let's go back and take a look at that 2-on-1 that we had to face just a little bit ago. You see the defenseman kind of, like you said, lose the edge. Good 2-on-1. It was a great breakup. And, boy, I tell you, our goaltending was stout.
Yeah,
on that.
Yeah,
It was
TJ,
very, very
nice
good
job.
stuff.
Yeah. We're down to three something. I got the 3 part.
Yeah, right. 3:14 it looks like.
3:14, is that what it is? I can't see that middle number. Okay, we're down there.
It's like 307, right?
Is that what it is? Okay.
It's a 0, I think, at this point.
Still nothing. Boy,
Yeah.
I tell you what, this is a lot more evenly matched than I think what the Sailors were expecting.
Yeah,
Would you say, Paul?
but it just depends what, how we come off that first game this morning. It was
Sure.
it was a pretty well hard played game. So
A little icing there.
Now, you said Capital City, they played today as well?
No, they played last night.
They played last night, so I'm assuming then, did they go back last night or did they get a hotel here?
No, I think they went back and then they came back today.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Lansing's an hour and a half. It's
Yeah,
not,
right. It's not that far.
unlike Midland, which is a couple hours, they
Sure.
stayed. I think FNB, they stayed.
I got you.
A lot
Now,
of those-
FNB, who's FNB?
I know Freeland, Saginaw, Novell, and
Oh, that's what NV was, Novell.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
so-
Because I saw. Yeah, all kinds of schools that combine and everything.
right. So like with the capital cities, you got St. John's, DeWitt,
okay.
Lansing, Catholic, Mason.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of different schools.
Sure. 2:41 counting down, 0-0, first period of action here.
Paul, I don't know if we've really talked much about it, but it's been there's a shot on goal right off the faceoff again, and great job and goal.
TJ tracking the puck well down in his own zone there.
He is. It's been a whirlwind kind of a weekend for you with the COVID protocol for Reese Puffer, unfortunately. We were hoping that this was going to be another crosstown rivalry that we were going to be able to cover.
I think we were all hoping for that, yeah.
Oh, here we go. Oh, boy, he just couldn't get there.
He just couldn't get enough on the pass to get it over. So.
And Langwich was a skate behind, just one skate behind on the pass.
Yeah.
So,
Paul, how's Puffer doing this year in hockey, though? Let's say we would have played. Would have been a close game as well?
It's always a close game.
Sure, crosstown rivals like that, absolutely.
On paper, we probably would be a better team at this point, but you just never know when you put it down. I mean, a couple years ago, we were better on paper, too, and we lost. So
sure.
Yeah, they're struggling a little bit this year to get things going in conference play. So,
well, with that, obviously, we were scheduled to be seeing Reese Puffer today. You guys were actually the team was scheduled to play their first game yesterday.
Yes.
But not only that, there's been just an absolute whirlwind of changes from times to times. It was late last night that you had sent the message that said, "Oh, we're finally back on."
Right.
We weren't even going to be here because your game would have coincided with some other things that wouldn't have allowed us to be here originally.
The first game this morning.
Yeah.
That one, was the one we knew for sure, and the game tonight we weren't sure. We were working with the coaches to try to confirm the game time. So.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad you were able to. I sent a message first thing this morning, and I got up.
Yeah.
Oh, your phone didn't go off at 5 o'clock, and I needed to get that message out to you guys to let you know we were back on because I was going to be gone training. I didn't know when I was going to be able to send that, but I was hoping it didn't wake you from your beauty sleep, from your slumber.
No.
I haven't got much sleep this weekend. I've been up like at that both days, Friday and today, thinking about the things that I had to get done.
I'm glad that you were up because I didn't see 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9.
I was already throwing ladders.
I was up at 10 today. I had
boy.
Working. And
we're going to have a chat during
Yeah, no. You talk about beauty, right? It's still the beauty part hasn't kicked in yet. The rest was wonderful. So counting down, we're under a minute. We're about 37 seconds away from the end of a really, an action-filled period. Really two polar opposite. The first half was all capital city. In the second half, we kind of, even it up just a little bit.
Be nice to bury one just before the first intermission.
Jake had a nice tip there. Yep. The goalie's played well. He's made the saves he's supposed to make. I know the coach is going to want a little more movement down low.
Well, yeah, you just stole my thunder. So, in between the period here, what's coach? What did you see that we need to work on?
He's going to want to take care of his own end better. He preaches really heavy. Take care of your own end first, and then the offense will come from there. So, puck control, we're doing a lot of waving at pucks and missing pucks, and we're a half a step off. So,
could that be contributed to a little bit of
it very well could.
Lacking the step from playing this morning?
It very well could. We're not playing as well as we played this
the puck
morning.
on that one.
Right.
And we've come to the end of the first period of action here, the 32nd annual Stan Konrad Hockey Showcase 2021. It's your Sailors playing host to the Capital City Caps. It's 0-0. We're going to let Papa T head on down
need to make sure
to the locker room to do his duties. I'm going to head down and see if I can find Mr. Mark Ewell.
Yeah, he may be here. He was here yesterday. I know that for sure. So.
We will take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a little bit.
All the protection you need, nothing you don't. At Lake Michigan Insurance Agency, save on the insurance you need and stop paying for the insurance you don't need. Trust our experts to find the perfect amount of coverage for you, making sure you're covered when you need it and how you need it. But the savings don't stop there. We also shop over 16 insurance providers, industry leaders like Citizens and Frankenmuth Insurance, to make sure you get the highest quality coverage at the lowest possible rate. In Muskegon County, trust Ryan Rozecki to start a quote for you today. Visit Ryan at our Norton Avenue office in the Park Place Shopping Center near Goodwill and Pints and Courts Restaurant, or visit lmc.org/insurance to get started.
Looking to buy or sell? Look no further than our broadcast booth sponsor, John Vandervelde at Nexus Realty. Give him a call at 231-759-3634 or go see him at 880 West Broadway Avenue in Muskegon. Nexus Realty, team-based real estate professionals.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
The Sailor Nation Sports Network would like to announce the first ever Pinnacle of Pride sponsor, the Sailor Classic. The Sailor Classic is a golf outing fundraiser created in 1990 and focuses on ways to enhance both the student athletes and the true fans' ability to experience all that Mona Shores has to offer. The Sailor Classic has provided a multitude of areas of financial support for athletics throughout the Mona Shores school system. In 2001, a foundation was created under the Sailor Classic to fund scholarships for qualifying student athletes. That fund has since grown to over $150,000 and has helped several students-athletes begin their college endeavors. The Sailor Classic is held every summer. For anyone interested in either becoming a sponsor in the Classic or simply participating, please see the Sailor Classic Facebook page for the most up-to-date information. Thank you, Sailor Classic, for your generosity and support of our Sailor Nation Sports Network as the very first Pinnacle of Pride sponsor.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
32nd annual Stan Konrad Hockey Showcase, and we've got a very special guest, my friend, Mr. Godfather of Sailor Nation Sports.
Yeah, one of a kind opportunity exclusive here, Mr. Mark Ewell, the executive director of the MHSAA, who happens to be here today because his son is on the team playing against the Sailors and the Capital City Capitals, and we just happen to be lucky enough to be here in the same building with him. Welcome, Mark. Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
Well, Mark, what a year it's been for you and for everybody. 20 to 2021, COVID, everything. Congratulations, first of all, on a job well done from all of us. And I speak for a lot of people here on the West Coast. Great job.
Appreciate that. It's not always been easy. It's not always been pretty. And you need to keep it within the backdrop of everybody since March with COVID and how that's impacted so many people and families in our state. But, the bottom line is we've felt all along that we can do athletics and we can do it safely. And, an event like today just shows you how that can be done.
And what, obviously, looking at it from our perspective, we don't have any of the decision-making, issues that you've had. Just talk about being in the middle of it. I mean, I'll tell you what, you've got it coming from the bottom side up and the top side down and all the responsibilities that you're trying to mesh between the two and keep it glued together. Nearly an impossible job, but like Nick has said, I think you did a fantastic job navigating those waters throughout these last 2 years.
It's been hard because normally we're used to setting a course and then moving forward, and all of us the last 12 months is all of us have had to do whatever we do, all of our activities. We've had to wait on what the government's going to allow, and obviously the coordination with sports and schools and, first with the governor's office, now with the state health department. It's been every day has been a challenge. So hopefully we can keep winter. We got our fall kids to the finish line. Obviously, got something in common with Mona Shores, that both Mona Shores and my son's team DeWitt both not only got to Fort Field, but finished the job. And, winter was kind of stuck in limbo, but this event this weekend has just been awesome, and great to see kids skating, our basketball kids, and all of our other winter athletes.
Mark, Joe brought up a great point. You were literally stuck in the middle. The parents, the kids, come on, we can play, we can do this. The state say, no, not yet. Who did you talk to mostly in the state? Was it the governor? Was it the doctors in the government? Who was the number one person that you talked to that said, hey, Mark, you got to shut it down. I'll let you know when you get going?
That's a really good question. I have not had one conversation with Governor Whitmer, and that's been a little bit frustrating at times.
Sure.
Because, we're not the Ingham County Little League with, a couple dozen teams and a few hundred kids. I mean, we've got 200,000 kids in Michigan that play school sports.
Wow.
And, you would think that that's a pretty big group. So our communication has been with staff members in the governor's office, and
okay.
Those conversations are always changing and evolving. The thing I really depended on, what was going on in other states, is I'm on a weekly call with the other 49 state executive directors and what's going on in their states, and some of the other states got started with fall sports earlier than we did, and that first 3 weeks showed that we can do this safely, football included. And our two neighbors to the south all winter, Indiana and Ohio, have been playing everything going back to November when COVID numbers were really, really tough. So what's been frustrating is, of course, you hear the governor talk, and it's about following the science and the data. But there's not been any metrics given. There's no numbers. I don't know what the numbers have to stay for us to keep playing. I don't know what there's a little.
Boy, I tell you what, that was great.
Nice shot on goal.
So I kept yakking a decent scoring chance there for the red sweaters. But so that's been hard. If you're going to make decisions based on the science and the data, you got to tell us what the data is. It's like going to a doctor and saying, well, you weigh too much. And instead of telling you what a target weight is, it's, well, just test more, or in other words, just weigh yourself more. Not going to tell you what the weight you need to be at is. And that, I think, has just been frustrating because, folks, even if you give them numbers and the numbers have to change, at least you know where the goalposts are, and that's been the frustration.
Right. No. Exactly. Tell us what we need to do. How do we need to do it? Give us the right numbers, and we want to go. And you didn't get a lot of that stuff. And that's – and you're always having to say, well, we're not, and, you don't want to blame this, but overall we're doing good. Mark, what has the MHSAA learned now going down to next year, and are things going to carry over certain protocols? Because this thing isn't going to go away by fall. It's still going to rear its ugly head, unfortunately, until everybody gets double vaccinated, we do the right thing. But we know that's not going to happen, Mark. So contingency plans, I'm assuming, are in the works as we speak.
They are. I'm hoping our schedule and our calendar will be back to normal. We understand that, crowds and groups and gatherings may look a little bit different. I know if you talk to our kids, they would love the face mask to go away because that's a really hard thing. I do think that mask wearing has been better in winter sports than it was in fall, so we've made some positive progress there. The biggest lesson in all of this, and it's been a really hard lesson to learn, but, with the starts and the stops, and you've really heard from people during the stops, it's just how important high school athletics really are.
Yeah.
I think maybe that, when you work in this field every day, you kind of take that for granted. And, back in August when it looked like football was going to the spring, and during November when everything is on hold, and you really got a chance to hear from people about how important these activities really are for our kids. And that was maybe a good lesson to relearn because of the pandemic.
My son's a football coach down in North Carolina, and they just had their second game. They said, again, though, it's 70 degrees in North Carolina. Come springtime, I go, Mark, what are you thinking? How are we going to have – trust me, I said this to you. You didn't hear me. I mean, what's Mark Ewell thinking? I mean, we're Michigan. March, we're going to start. I'm sure you got some of that.
Oh, a ton. And we tried to tell the governor's office that, too. And
it's unrealistic.
Spring football's one thing in Muskegon or in Lansing, but it's a little different answer in Holton or Hancock.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. So, we talk a lot about what COVID has done negatively to basically all of life. From your perspective, is there anything that was eye-opening at the MHSAA level that you guys might hold on to that developed from this that you see as maybe a good carryover that you didn't realize before that you were kind of pressed into from all of this COVID precautions that needed to be taken?
So I've been keeping a list of things we've had to do because of COVID that really deserve more consideration when we get back to normal. I hate to talk football again, but football playoffs, putting almost all of our schools in. Does that not relieve some of the regular season scheduling issues? I think the perfect example of something we had to do because of COVID was what happened to the Sailors today. This is Mona's second game today.
Yep.
All other years that wouldn't have happened, and allowing a hockey team on 2 or 3 different Saturdays during the year to play twice, which we've allowed during COVID, that might be worth hanging on to where, if Mona takes a long trip somewhere next year, wouldn't it be nice to get a Friday night game and then 2 games in on Saturday?
Sure.
Just a better utilization of everybody's time. So
that's a really good point. I didn't even think about it from a schedule.
Basketball the same way, though. Teams are playing 3 games a week. Now, when I played at Muskegon back then, we only were allowed 2 games, and you couldn't. Now, well, because of COVID, it could be done. I don't know if it's going to hang around, but I'm sure it's something your committee is going to think about.
Absolutely. And even like with spectators, with all of the limited spectators, we did all online tickets this year. And maybe that's something that stays, because folks, once they got the rhythm, found it to be pretty easy, pretty convenient, and that might be something that sticks too.
Well, I think it's, everybody, like I said, they look at the negatives, but the things you just mentioned, having the doubleheader in a game or the 3 games in a weekend, I never considered it from that standpoint. And you probably never would have if you wouldn't have had to compress some of these schedules like that.
Never. So like the Caps, and my son here, number 4, is a senior, so he's done. But our normal trip every year was to go to Sault Ste. Marie. and they would always play a Friday and a Saturday, but our coach is already talking next year. You could go up to the UP and play some of those really good hockey schools.
Sure.
And you could go up and do a Friday night, then 2 on Saturday, play 3 different UP teams, whether that's Sault Ste. Marie, Marquette, and Escanaba. And that I think would be a really neat experience for a lot of kids to go do next winter. So something that definitely is worth talking more about.
It is, Matt Kozak's big in playing other, playing King, playing some, going to the big house. We were supposed to play at Wayne State, but COVID canceled that, These are great experiences. I mean, these are life experiences. I like the idea of what you brought up, going back to football, that everybody makes it.
Yep.
Boy, it's going to save on scheduling a ton, especially teams that are good that can't find teams to play. When I was at Muskegon back in the 80s, we had to pay the Detroit teams. We'll pay your bus, we'll pay your lodging, we'll pay for this, we'll pay that, we'll give you half the gate, because we couldn't find games back in the early 80s when I was there. And everybody makes it. So is that in discussion as well?
Certainly is.
I'm sure it is.
You just take your county. You've got Mona Shores, Muskegon, and Montague.
Yeah.
There are 3 perennials every single year.
Right.
You can always throw, Ravenna and
absolutely,
Orchard View, Oak Ridge, all of them.
I mean, West Michigan. You look at here. There's a lot of state champions year in and year out for the size of the population that we
shot
have.
on goal.
You bet.
Saved by the Caps goal.
So what's your future like now? How long have you been executive director? What's Mark Yule going to be doing down the road here now? Finishing this year, then what?
We'll get through this year, and as we've well handled. Really been impressed, by the way, with Mona Shore's goalie so far. Handles the puck really well. And
we were talking about it as well. He's very, very trained in on these shots, especially some of them that came off of the face-off down earlier on. And, especially coming the second game, we talked about how the exhaustion or how much that is going to play into that second game. But he seems to be spot on.
I understand this is your senior. Was standing down along the end boards while the teams were warming up, in your sophomore goalie, number 22.
Yep.
I'm 6'4", and he towered over me. So looks like Mona Shores is in great shape.
Mr. Detloff is a tall guy. That is
Paul.
for sure.
Come here a minute, Paul.
Good pass in front.
Let's take a look at that on the Lake Michigan Insurance instant replay here. Comes across the blue line, basically just took it, passed it over. It was a great pass, moving puck, got it off to the side of the goalie. He really didn't have much of a shot at all. It was just well played. Now take another look at it here. Pass back center ice, just kind of one-tapped it back over, and the goalie was just not. He was playing the right position. He just didn't have a chance.
Yep.
So they moved the puck well. These guys will move the puck well down low.
Joining us now, back on the microphone here, Paul Tiefenthal.
I had the pleasure to meet Mark last night here at the game. It was nice to meet him and talk to him and thank him for his leadership
and Paul
through all of this stuff. So
congratulations to you as well. I know as the tournament director, and with losing, COVID has been something with scheduling. Everybody's had to adapt, and I see you got pressed into that last evening, and have still just put on a wonderful
Coach
event.
Benedict and Coach Benedict did a lot of scheduling makeups, and he was trying to find other teams, and we couldn't find teams. And for us, it was more important that the teams that were coming in from out of town last night got a chance to play. So we had to go upstairs once again and tell our kids, guess what, we're not playing.
Yeah.
But they were fine. We were able to get them. You guys came over tonight, and we were able to get them their 2 games this weekend. So all the teams, with the exception of the team that's out, were able to get their 2 games this weekend. What else can you do? That's all we can do, and we do it as good as we can. So,
Mark, you've been in the MHSAA all the way around, has been very open this year for the live streaming. So you've had people that are, taking their iPads and whatnot. We were, fortunately, in the position that we were, because we're student activity related, and we've had students involved every single year. What do you see for the future of live streaming on this? Quite honestly, obviously you always had the NFHS that was out there, but it wasn't nearly the market as what it became this year. and then a lot of other schools that are, coming on board and doing some of the same things that we are. What do you see for the future on the live streaming side of stuff?
So that's a really good question. What do they say? That often necessity is the origin of good new ideas.
Yep. Mother of invention, right?
Thank you. As I butcher that cliche, but everybody's had to stream because of the limited spectators this year, and I think it's time for our rules to become more flexible to allow this, because this is the future. I mean, folks, it's not enough. It's radio is great, but people want video, and the technology is here for that to happen.
Even just be able for us to put the games up on Facebook and run it live for grandparents and grandparents that are in Florida and Texas that couldn't come to games even if they were, even if there wasn't the restriction. It's been awesome for us just to, we're great when these guys come. Is really big for us. We love to have them here, but we've been able to live stream all of our games so far this season, and all the host schools and it's been really awesome. We all work together and to get it out, and that's what it's all about.
Amen. And the old days to where you needed all this money and it had to be on the TV play, that has all changed. Right. Even look at youth hockey with the live barn stuff. You can be in any rink in Michigan and be able to watch.
Which is what they have here with this camera.
There's a live barn feed here. I couldn't get it up yesterday, but
well, it's really good to hear that. And quite honestly, our goal right from the beginning was always to continue to move what we're doing with Sailor Nation Sports Network into a curriculum-based and really tie it into broadcasting and capture those kids that want to do this kind of stuff and have an opportunity to learn right at the get-go of their, the prime education time. And honestly, it's exciting to hear that. We've had incredible support from the school in that matter. It's growing more and more into the curriculum side of stuff so that we can keep this going. And if the MHSA is even going to take a look at expanding the capabilities of that, that's just going to even make it more fruitful for us. So.
Well, streaming isn't going away, and as you just said, this is now a skill to be able to produce events like this, and kids need to learn that because it just makes them so much more marketable for what they may want to do, even as a hobby or maybe even as a career one day. So we are in the digital age, and a lot of times the rules need to reflect that, and I think this has been, we talked earlier about what are things with COVID that are worth hanging on to long term, and certainly the availability now of high school video is at the very front of that list.
There's been a lot of little things that we've done different this year that aren't bad.
We were just, before you came up.
There's a lot of little, we have a golf outing, and to do that this summer, we didn't have a big food spread. We had box, and we're like, we're going to do box lunches every year. It's so much easier, and cost effectively, it's so much better. And there's just a lot of little things we do differently now that we probably won't change.
Yep. Well, it's even like we were talking just before you came on of, if this was last year, Mona Shores would have only gotten one game this weekend. Now with it being able to play 2 games in a day, that's just another thing that
if this was last year, we wouldn't be dealing with COVID.
That's true, too. So we would have played Friday and Saturday. Exactly right.
Right. It's nice to have that 1 or 2 weekends where you can do it. I don't think it's good for these kids to do it every weekend.
Agreed.
But it's nice to have that opportunity so you can get that game in, or like in this weekend's case, we'd only done it once, so we had the opportunity to come in and do it again, and it worked out for us this weekend.
So this is a Sailor Nation Sports Network broadcast, but we've always given great kudos to whatever team is, in opposition to Mona Shores in that contest, because each one of these guys out here is coming and playing their hearts out. Whatever sport it is, whatever game we're covering, we do the same thing. You get an opportunity. Let's talk a little bit about Grant. All right. Does he prefer football or hockey, or is he a 3-sport? Does he have another sport that he throws?
He's a baseball player in the spring, pretty good 3-sport athlete, and it's kind of sad coming over here today because his hockey career is slowly coming to an end, being a senior, and we're hosting the regional, and if we could get through in Division I, the quarterfinal, all those would be at Munn Ice Arena, which is right in town. So the hockey road trips with Dad and Grant are coming to an end. But I appreciate you asking. So Grant, proud dad moment here, has been accepted into the Naval Academy already.
Oh, congratulations.
And waiting to hear on the Air Force Academy, where he would be a football kid at both of those places.
No kidding.
Linebacker, strong safety type.
Sure.
And thankfully he takes after my wife, Marcy, and I know our youngest our daughter Maddie, who's an 8th grader, has had about enough of hearing about Grant this and Grant that. And then my oldest, got to give him a quick shout out. He's a swimmer at Hope College, and their league meet is next weekend. And of course, at the small college level, those athletes have competed all winter with 0 spectators. So, it's great to see so many people in the rink today. Again, no more than 3 spectators per participant.
Right.
But, it's great that at the high school level we're able to watch our kids play. Where at even, that MIAA level, it's been 0 all year. But proud of all 3 of them. And, again, I'm going to enjoy every minute here that red number 4
soak it
has
up.
left here on a pair of skates. So.
Soak it up, absolutely.
Yeah, this was basically our last home game of the year.
So obviously you mentioned that he's got the opportunity to play football, but I'm assuming football must be his favorite.
It's probably his best sport. Oh, you just scored.
Yep. Oh yeah, whose kid was that?
Exactly.
Number 4.
So let's take a look at that last goal. A lot of action down here. They kind of kept it. A little crossover, crossed it back, and came off of the goalie, and he got the rebound on that. He got the rebound right off.
Yeah, wide open net on the short side here.
That was the Lake Michigan Insurance instant replay there. So back up to a tie game, 1-1.
They always say keep your stick on the ice in those rebound situations, and found the back of the net. Again, really nice initial save by the goaltender, and he's really played well. And that's the thing about hockey. A rebound, it's a bounce, it's a
scrum in front, it's a bounce. It's not always pretty.
Yep.
A goal is a goal is a goal.
Yeah. You can lie about it later.
There's a puck in the back of the net. That's
the wedding
that's a goal.
up. Yeah. Doesn't even have to be in the back. It's just got to cross that line.
That's
all
right.
it's got to do is cross the line.
That's right.
So Mona Shores hockey, I often get to ask the questions as I travel and talk to my other colleagues in other hockey playing states, and Mona is the proud home of the person I use every time. Who's been the best high school hockey player in state history? And of course, that's Mona Shores grad Justin Abdelkader, who went from here to have a nice career at Michigan State. And, just this event just is a way for you folks to show off just the incredible tradition that Mona Shores hockey has.
I was just going to say that it's been a very storied hockey program. Hence the Stan Konrad, showcase. Here we are with that name on there, and that's really kind of where everything was born from and taken on, into where we're at as a storied,
So
program.
in the 70s, there was club hockey in almost all the schools in the Muskegon area. And Stan coached the Mona Shores team, but there was more schools that had that club program, and he always had a big – normally the Stan Conrad tournament is right after the first of the year, obviously.
Gotcha.
Not this year. So he would always have a big Christmas tournament that was the Conrad tournament. And as it went
the big steal. 1-on-1. Off the post.
I think he had him, but he didn't find the back of the net on that one.
All right, let's take a look at that. That was a fantastic takeaway. Boy, he ringed it right off the top post.
Ethan Bond right off the crossbar for the Caps.
So that brings us to the end of the second period, and it's tied up 1-1. We left the first 0-0. We're leaving the second 1-1. It's going to be an interesting third period.
Yeah, should be fun, right? Well,
absolutely.
All tied up at 1.
Mark, I want to thank you for joining us up here in the booth. It really was a special pleasure to be able to have you up here. I know we always, obviously, from our perspective and all these coaches, and we follow everything that comes out of the office and what the next direction is going to be right now. To be able to be sitting here next to you is kind of a pleasure. I appreciate you taking the time and coming up here and talking with us.
Good to be with you guys. Wish Mona Shores and all their programs the very best of luck. It's been a it's been a really busy last month, and I think we've got a very busy month here in front of us. But let's keep everybody continue to do all the right things as we see the crowd and everybody with their mask on. Let's do the right things here for our kids.
Little shot of us over there. Kimmon's taking a look.
Yep.
There's us in the broadcast booth. Thank you very much for joining us, and we're going to take a quick break, everybody. We'll be right back here in just a few moments.
Looking to buy or sell? Look no further than our broadcast booth sponsor, John Vandervelde at Nexus Realty. Give him a call at 231-759-3634 or go see him at 880 West Broadway Avenue in Muskegon. Nexus Realty, team-based real estate professionals.
All the protection you need, nothing you don't. At Lake Michigan Insurance Agency, save on the insurance you need and stop paying for the insurance you don't need. Trust our experts to find the perfect amount of coverage for you, making sure you're covered when you need it and how you need it. But the savings don't stop there. We also shop over 16 insurance providers, industry leaders like Citizens and Frankenmuth Insurance, to make sure you get the highest quality coverage at the lowest possible rate. In Muskegon County, trust Ryan Rozecki to start a quote for you today. Visit Ryan at our Norton Avenue office in the Park Place Shopping Center near Goodwill and Pints and Courts Restaurant, or visit lmc.org/insurance to get started.
The Sailor Nation Sports Network would like to announce the first ever Pinnacle of Pride sponsor, the Sailor Classic. The Sailor Classic is a golf outing fundraiser created in 1990 and focuses on ways to enhance both the student athletes and the true fans' ability to experience all that Mona Shores has to offer. The Sailor Classic has provided a multitude of areas of financial support for athletics throughout the Mona Shores school system. In 2001, a foundation was created under the Sailor Classic to fund scholarships for qualifying student athletes. That fund has since grown to over $150,000 and has helped several student-athletes begin their college endeavors. The Sailor Classic is held every summer. For anyone interested in either becoming a sponsor in the Classic or simply participating, please see the Sailor Classic Facebook page for the most up-to-date information. Thank you, Sailor Classic, for your generosity and support of our Sailor Nation Sports Network as the very first Pinnacle of Pride sponsor.
Ladies and gentlemen, back here at the Lakeshore Ice Arena at the Stan Konrad Showcase, where your Sailors are knotted up 1-1 going into the third period against the Capital City Capitals. And did we just finish up a great interview here with the executive director of the MHSAA, Mr. Mark Ewell. I'll tell you, that was fantastic to be able to have her exclusive. Didn't even know we were going to be able to do that. His son is on the team that the Sailors are playing against, and I'll tell you what, it's pretty cool that we just had him in here.
Well, not only is it cool, but look what we learned from all of this, from having him for a whole period, from past, present, to future information on what's going to go on. And probably one of the biggest things that I got out of it is what we're doing right here with Sailor Nation Sports, buddy.
Yeah, and there was a lot of love not only for Mona Shores, not just hockey, but football and all the sports. He gave a lot of love to the way that Shores is doing stuff, and he gave a lot of love to the way we're doing our broadcast. He was able to see some things behind the curtain here, and he enjoys what we have going on here. So it really was a great interview, great information. Looking forward to the future, especially what we'll hear from Mark.
And what a tough job he's got, listening to people all around, parents, fans, spectators, let the kids play. The governor's group, hey, you can't, what do we need to do? We're willing to do.
Caught in the middle.
Caught in the middle, literally caught in the middle. But speaking about being caught in the middle, we're right in the middle of a game here, and it's period number 3. We're knotted up 1-1. Papa T coming back is going to join us right now. And let's see what he's going to fill us in. But I tell you what, though, Mark Ewell's kid scoring the tying goal here. That had to be exciting for him.
It was kind of a poetic justice, I guess, if you will, having him here to be able to see it. But
well, we got to thank Paul, though, for letting us know that, hey,
here we go. There's a little bit of a
here we go.
possibility.
Yep.
Tony or Jake Nana trying to get in there, but they cut him off.
Looks like we're going to have a penalty down here.
Yep.
We got one of these, Paul. What's that right there?
Trying to come back up.
Both teams at full strength right now.
Right.
12:53, looks like. Where are the tournaments going to be held at?
We're going to be in Kalamazoo.
You're going to be counting for.
All right.
Is it district, regional?
Basically regionals, right?
Oh, okay. And down in Kalamazoo?
Yeah, we'll be at Wings.
At Wings?
Okay, we're back live, guys.
Oh, we're back
Sorry
live?
about that.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are joining us back on. We had an internet connection drop here at the Lakeshore Ice Arena. And, of course, the unfortunate thing is when the internet drops, so does the game coverage. But you didn't miss much. We've been backing down across the ice here a few times, still 1-1.
Yep, it's 12:25, counting down in the third period of action here. And as Joe said, it's 1-1. And in case you missed some of it, we had Mark Ewell for the whole second period. Great to have Mark, and want to thank Paul Tiefenthal for letting us know Mark was here. We were able to get him on, and he was very gracious. And we literally bombarded him with a boatload of questions.
We did. Yep.
But he gave us concrete answers, too. There wasn't any fluff to him.